excuse the crazy hair. Ugh, it's week 2. I'm gonna go ahead and say either this is gonna be its own week vlog, I'm not sure yet, or it's gonna be in next week's vlog because I've been very busy this week and I have some amazing friends coming in from out of town. But what matters is that I'm going to show you the work I've done so far on Wanda. Look at this. Okay. Okay, I know. You'll see all of the work like after me introducing, because honestly I didn't want to start talking to the camera until I figured out what I was gonna do. But here's what I did, and it's working perfectly, and I'm kind of mad that I've not known about this stuff before, because this is a really cool product, you guys. All right, so we have my Le Corset. I did it up to, like you'll see here after me talking, I cut up our pieces that we duct taped myself last week, made patterns for the bodice. I took separate, it's over there, but you'll see this line art illustration that a awesome fan sent me that he did in his spare time, and I'm using it because that's a lot of lines, so thank you ahead of time, dude. Really appreciate it. But I printed that out to my appropriate size, tweaked with the measurements, and now I have the line art for all of this mishigas that happens up here and kind of down the front, which is going to be silicone casted later on. Right now, we need to focus on making the bodice underneath of it so there's something that can attach to, right? Okay, cool. You with me? Here we go. So, the bodice. I needed to figure something out because the way the fabric is draped on top of whatever stabilizer they're using in the show, it's very uniform, it's very tight, and there's no seam lines you can really tell. There might be some in the side seams, I'm not sure. I really can't find any good images of this costume, which is kind of killing me slightly inside. Killing me softly. Oh yeah. So I'm kind of making stuff up, but I know I needed this to kind of like fit, like it's just really tight to the body, but with no darts, no specific seams, no anything like that. And so once I cut up my pattern, I knew I had to have some kind of in-between stabilizer between the corset and the outer fabric, because the outer fabric is stretchy. So I needed something to hold it down, to not have seams or darts or anything, and also to be able to conform to the bodice without a whole lot of tailoring. Welcome in this stuff called Cobra Cast. Doesn't look like much right now, but okay. So this stuff is called Cobra Cast, and it is a Worbla product from the Worbla brand. It's a thermoplastic that you can heat up and sew it. Yeah, so for those of you who are not familiar with what Worbla is, Worbla, like I said, is a thermoplastic. It is a sheet of mesh and glue of stuff put together that you can heat up and basically form something out of it. A lot of people use it for armor and props and weapons and stuff, but no one really uses it for sewing because you can't sew through it. It's hard as rock. There's several different types of Worbla out there. Worbla is the brand. They have different types of thermoplastics. This specifically is called Cobra Cast, and I just want to go out there and double, triple thank Elemental Cosplay Amanda for sending me a very small sample size a couple months ago, because we were talking about like stiffeners and stabilizers and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I want to try it, but I don't really use Worbla much. I'm not a prop maker, I'm not a film, or I'm not an armor person. She's like, well, let me send you this stuff. It's called Cobra Cast. You can sew through it, and it's the same properties as Worbla. And I'm like, what? Yeah. So it's extremely lightweight. It looks like this. See, it's got a mesh look to it, but the mesh is actually little holes that you can sew through, and it's kind of mathematically laid out on this thermoplastic. So when you're sewing it, your needle's going into those holes. It's not sticky. Your needle's not sticky. It's not picking up and moving the Worbla. Now, I was saying don't sew this while it's hot, sew it while it's cooled down, because once you heat it up with the heat gun, it does, you know, wilt down, and therefore you can form it into whatever shape form you want. But the cool part about this, besides the fact you can sew it, is that you can heat it up onto fabric, let it cool, peel it off of fabric, and it still holds the form. That's kind of groundbreaking for like bodices that need structure but yet need flexible attributes and have to be able to sew it. So what I'm talking about right here is on this guy I already did. So you'll see how I did all of this in the videos after this, promise. And this is what it looks like. So first I had my corset down. I know all the red's kind of like, but that's just fuzz from the cotton of the corset. I laid a piece of this Cobra cast cut out to the shape of the patterns that I took from my duct tape cast. I laid a piece of it out on this. I heated it up on the dress form while attached to the corset, let it cool to the shape that it is, and it does stretch and move around a little bit, but I let it cool, and then once I let it cool, I heated it back up again, and I draped the fabric over top of it, thus giving me like a cast of the actual piece. It's still flexible, but it's still holding its structure. Now I will say, don't yank the fabric off because it will come off, but it's sticky enough to where it's not gonna move. For costuming, this ain't moving. But I did flatline down the edges just to make sure it wasn't going to move, and it's solid. So I did one side, let it cool. It's just sitting there right here. And I just did the other side. I only have enough Cobra cast to do these two side front panels. Ordered some more so I can do the rest of the bodice. And it's actually going to be moving a lot faster than I thought, which I'm just like, my mind's blown, because once I have these pieces cut out and the fabric stuck to them, I can sew them together, and then I'll have a very structured bodice that I can still sew to my corset. That's the point. I need it to sew to my corset so I can cinch it up in the back. This is great. Yes, I love products that allow me to do things that I didn't think I could do. Woo! So exciting. So I just started peeling this off of the top, and it's coming off. It does not leave a sticky residue. It doesn't leave a residue to the corset. Like I said, the red does come off on the inside of that, but no one's going to see it, so it doesn't really matter. So that's Cobra cast. And when you get to the part where you're starting to peel it off the fabric, you know, just do it slowly, and it does come off. Sounds like Velcro. And if the fabric does come off of it a little bit, just heat up the Cobra cast and stick the fabric back on. It's really simple. This is great. And I was able to pad out my dress form to where it now fits me better. It's just been a good night. I thought I wasn't going to be able to do this stuff this week because it was so busy, but I kind of got up here and played around, and lo and behold, we have progress. Look at that. Okay, so now I'm going to take a really fancy picture of it to post on Instagram, because I need to for my own sanity. So now enjoy the work in progress shots I got of all of this. Yeah. Thank you guys for joining. This is so exciting. Okay, enjoy. It is week 2, technically week 3, but I thank you for your patience. I didn't upload last week because I had friends in from out of town, and I didn't really do a whole lot last week, but you guys just watched my spiel on the Cobra Cast love and the beginning of the Wanda Bodice, and so I'm here the week after to continue that. And my air conditioner just kicked on, but hopefully, maybe if I just get closer, it won't be as bad. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, okay, so we are going to, I got all of my Cobra Cast in from Cosplay Supplies, so we're going to finish that bodice today. We're going to get that ready to adhere down to the corset. Ideally, this is all going to be fine. It's all going to work out cool, kosher, but who knows, roadblocks sometimes come. And, oh, I also have a cool thing I want to show you guys. It's hard to tell with all my lights on, but let's get this a little darker. There we go. I purchased the WandaVision cape from Hot Topic. Actually, I got it off eBay because all of them are back ordered right now. So, hot fun fact, if you need something that's super back ordered from a place, eBay. I feel like most people know that, but I got this for half the price off retail, so I'm kind of excited about it. But another but is that finding images of her freaking cloak are the hardest thing to do right now. So this is the best I can do, and the images that I found and people who have helped me out over the internet sending me pictures of their bought cosplay image of the cape, and then her universe one, and there's just this one. I just bought it. And also, it's really, really cute. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but this is adorable. Look at this. It's got little arm loops to go in, which is really smart. And I want to try to remember that for when I make my cloak, which is, it's actually kind of how I do my Doctor Strange cloak. I have shoulder supports that go on underneath of it to help keep it on. This is not the right shirt to wear with it. It's a little bulky underneath of it, but it goes across the front here. Like, super cool casual Wanda look. I'm not gonna lie. I usually don't care for a lot of her universe stuff. But I'm just not a geeky fashion person. But anyways. Isn't this just cute? Like, it kind of hits me in the right area. And like for like a daily cloak to wear around. This is so cute. But, fashion aside, I am going to use this pattern for the back of the cloak, because that's the best we can do. And the doll, I think the Hot Toys doll isn't coming out till July. And I don't know, I might not be on this yet. When that comes out, that might be a better option, but this is what we got, and this is what we're gonna work with. So, let's get working with that Cobra Cast. First though, I have to fulfill some book orders. And I just want to pop in here and say thank you to everyone who has purchased a book from my website as of late. It's been great, and keep doing it if you guys are interested in purchasing my Creative Cosplay 2 from my website. As a reminder, you do get a cool bookmark with some cool tassels attached to it, and I send it to you directly. So, link is in the description below. I gotta fulfill some orders first before we move on to Wanda, because business. Hi, okay, coming in here to show you all what I'm doing. I've been experimenting with kind of like the best way to do this Cobra Cast interface stabilizer method on the bodice, and I think I figured it out. So I'm doing the side backs right now. Why is it so dark? There we go, light it up a little bit. Okay, the first thing I did was cut out the Cobra Cast and the fabric, and then I flatlined it together. For those of you who don't know what flatlining is, it's basically laying two things on top of each other and stitching them together within the seam allowance that you are going to be allowing yourself. So I stitched it 3/8 away from the edge. So when I do attach it to anything at a 1/2 inch, which is my seam allowance I'm using, you will not see that. So I did that for here. It was kind of fishy putting it under the sewing machine, but I'll put some more footage in that later. And it is working out. It did bunch up a little bit, like kind of right here, but it's okay. And so I'm putting the whole piece on the dress form and pinning it in the 4 corners here, taking my heat gun and carefully heating it up and kind of pushing it down to the form of my body as I'm going down, which means the fabric is sticking to the interfacing, and the interfacing is adhering to the corset, but not permanently. I can still remove it if I want to, or I can leave it on there, doesn't matter. But you're going to want to remove it if you're stitching all of your pieces together. Now, if you went ahead and put all of your pieces together before, you know, pushing it down to the mold of your body, I think that's probably a pretty easy way to go. So this is the way that I'm going, piece by piece. It's working out just fine. One thing, if you are doing the way I'm going for it, do not remove the piece off of your dress form until it is cooled completely, because it will lose the form and the fabric will loosen from the thermoplastic and not stick to it anymore. So I was having issues with this one because I was being really impatient and pulling it off and realizing that it's not really sticking to each other. So it needs to be completely cool before you decide to peel it off. So this is ready to peel off right now, holding its form. Oof. Ta-da! Formed piece on my body. Perfect. So that actually worked out great. There's not really any pieces around that are bubbling up, so I think this was a success. I'm going to continue to do that on this side, and I actually ran out of Cobra Cast tonight again because the medium sheet that I bought was not enough. So I should have bought the larger sheet, but that's okay. I actually turned around and bought a large sheet because I know I'm probably going to use it for the belt area and maybe some bits of the skirt. So, oh well. It should be here quickly. CosplaySupplies.com is pretty good on shipping. All right. So we're going to do side backs and the backs tonight. like an issue that I thought was gonna happen like before I even started, but I wasn't sure how to fix it. But now I figured out how to fix it, and that is the excess seam allowance that doesn't really lie flat when you put your pieces together. So I was like, well, I'm gonna have to figure something out, so I'm gonna lay them flat, and then I'm gonna top stitch down over them to make it like, you know, nice and pretty. But I didn't want to push the heat directly on my pieces. I swear my air conditioner knows exactly when I'm getting ready to talk to my camera. It just kicks on. It's gonna be a battle all summer. Anyways, just gonna keep going. Yeah, you don't want to put your heat gun directly on these pieces because it's gonna heat up the rest of the pieces, and then your fabric's gonna come off and then you have to redo it again. So I am using a really bad tip that I need to clean off stuff. Yeah. Like a little soldering, I wouldn't call it a soldering iron, but it's like a, you know, what are these called? Son of a boob. It's clearly smoking because it's got some glue on it. These things, they heat up and they have thing, whatever. I am like very carefully going into the little side seams area and just heating up the thermoplastic, and then once it's pretty malleable, you can feel it. I very carefully press it down and not try to, you know, lose my fingerprints at the same time, and it's working out pretty great. So it just folds down, and then I can push it down against itself in the thermoplastic. And then, you know, there are some pieces kind of popping up a little bit, but the thing is that you want to get this nice and flat, so when you put it back on your dress form, you can hit it with a heat gun again and kind of reform the fabric if any of it's come off back to the thermoplastic. So this is working great for the time being. Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna end tonight. Pretty much have gotten as far as I can because I ran out of Cobra Cast, so I had to order more. Yay. But this is what we got so far. Obviously the middle piece is what I need the stuff for. So yeah, I'm definitely doing some alterations to the top here, making that a little more even because I don't think it needs to go that high up. Mainly because I don't think I'm really going to do a lot of detailing on the back. I'm going to be wearing a cape. You're not going to see it. Plus my hair is going to be down, so you're not going to see it. And I wanted to leave a gap there for the lacing as well, but also just in case things fit well and not well. I've just learned things over the years to just, it's okay to leave a gap in a corset. Everything doesn't have to butt up and be perfect. And I'm probably going to do, make a little modesty panel under there, and it'll be just fine. Because most likely, me and whoever's dressing me are the only people that are going to see it. And I just want to feel comfortable, but also, looking good. So, giving myself some room. Final thoughts so far. This stuff has been interesting. I've had to fight it a couple times underneath the sewing machine. I think the edges of my walking foot are a little gummed up. Not from the Cobra Cast, but from the paint job that I did on top of this fabric. It's gotten a little bit under the foot, so I think it's good. There are parts that are starting to like come up the more I work with him more, and I'm just trying to heat him down more, like right here. It's moving a little bit. But everything is sewn down really well. If the fabric pops up from the Cobra cast, I think it'll be fine. It's not really going to do anything. It's just me trying to be a little about it. So, yeah, I think I don't really know what to do until my Cobra cast comes in. No, I do know what to do. I need to figure this out. So, like I said earlier, we're going to cast this in silicone. So it's going to be a little flexible, but also really nice and pretty. But first we have to create it out of foam, and then we have to make a mold from it, and then we have to pour it. So I need to finalize the shape around my neck for that and get little things cut in and out and start making this out of foam pieces, which is going to be a lot, but it'll be like a big puzzle game. Yay, puzzles. Yeah, so I think that's probably what I'll do until the Cobra cast stuff comes in. I've gotten as far as I could. But I will show you I'll pin the fabric on the front to see what it looks like so you guys can kind of see a little bit more of a 360 view. It's hard to tell. And then this goes over top of it. Like me. Yay! Conceptualizing and things. Actually, that's probably gonna go a little further up. That needs to be like right there. But yeah, we're getting somewhere. We're moving. And I think this is gonna look really cool. So I'll see you all in the next day, which will probably be tomorrow or Friday. Yeah. Hey there, folks. In my car today, because I've decided to make a spontaneous trip to Joann because I need more foam for Scarlet Witch to build up the detail, take the, I literally just told you all what I'm doing. Anyways, I need thicker foam. So I'm here. I haven't been to Joann's in, a while, and it feels different. There's barely anybody here. So we're just gonna take a cruise through and check out some fabrics and see what's new, if there's anything new or anything on sale. I am looking for a fabric for a outfit I want to make for a wedding reception at the later this month. So maybe I'll find something there and we'll see what we get into. Let's just let's go shopping. Joann. Exactly what I needed. Thanks, Yaya. So I see we now have costuming fabrics and cosplay fabrics. Clearly I don't think it's all from cosplayfabrics.com, but ooh, what is this? Is Halloween fabric already coming in? Are those skulls? Yes, please. I don't know what this is. This scares me. Good Lord. Don't be a judgmental. But there's some cool stuff. Basket weave is back. Interesting. I don't know what I would use a lot of these for, but they're good bases. I don't think anybody would be alarmed if I just showed up in a complete Baby Yoda outfit for the wedding. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of Grogu. I don't know if I can even handle that. This is okay. That's cute. It's Star Wars fabric's cute. I always like to come into Joann's and look at the books and just kind of move things out of the way. Yeah. Just we can cover Frozen too. They don't need. There you go. That looks better now, right? All right, so we're on the details of Wanda now, and it's working out until I went and screwed it up, and so now I have Alex over fixing the work that I messed up on, which was all of that markings of the cutouts and like the top. It's really confusing when you look at it. Got confused.
But I know how to read her chaos magic, so it's fine. It will be fine.
Sends more chaos magic. Oh, wait. Yeah.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. Everyone
hard to tell, but that's what we're trying to figure out.
So all of the red is her chaos magic. and bullshittery, and then all the blue and yellow is me fixing it.
Because ultimately I had to extend parts from this particular pattern that a friend sent me because it was built for someone who's 5'1". I am not 5'1", and so I had to extend it up near the shoulder. Well, doing that means I had to extend the design, and I got confused. So we're fixing it. It's okay. But then after we fix this, we're going to transfer it to foam, and then cut it up and prepare a subject to make a mold off of. Yeah, that's the plan. Let's see if we can get it done tonight. Goals is to cut it out and make the foam. To make the foam structure so we can measure it up and see if we need it.
The foam.
Yeah. At least get them pinned in the places that we need. Because then we have to assess how much goo we need. Yay, more goo! Good thing I got all of my fabulous Ko-fi donators that gave me money and my PayPal account that is still there.
Oh, I know an easy way how to figure out how much goo we need.
Oh.
All we have to do is fill up the mold with water and then pour the water out into a cup, and then I'll tell you how much goo we need.
That's genius.
I'm a smart person sometimes.
The water won't hurt the mold? Yeah. Okay. Oh. That actually is really smart. You learned something today, folks. Nice job, Alex.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm just going to sit here and
why?
wait till she gets done so we can move on to the next step.
I think I'm almost done.
Yeah, because we're cutting it in half. And it's going to be okay. For those of you who are doing this part of Wanda, it's confusing. I would like to know if you are making Wanda. Let me know in the comments your plan at this stage. What you plan to do. A lot of people that I've been seeing on Instagram have made it just directly out of foam. If you're a part of this channel, you follow my stuff, you know that foam and I don't get along. I am a 100% 3D printer convert, and I will continue to be like that for probably the rest of my cosplay career. I just don't care for foam. I also don't have a really good place to work with foam up here. It's not really good ventilation. I don't have good tools for it. Good cutting tools, but not, I mean, my Dremel is a Dremel, but dust flies everywhere, and then there's not good space. It's a sewing room, guys. It's a sewing room. Anyways. Oh, she brought out the green now. I think we're slowly going through all the different Infinity Stone colors. You brought out the Time Stone.
I did.
Woo! It's a fun Friday night. Yeah. So I had to pull out my mic because the air conditioner is on and I don't want to turn it off. And if I do turn it off, it's going to be too hot in here. So this is what it's like recording up here during the summer. Welcome. Anyways, so to wrap up week 2, I also have my camera on a different thing. I'm trying something new. To wrap up week 2, we have this amazing looking thing. For the rest of today, I'm just going to finish cutting out the detail pieces to ready for our mold making, because we have a lot that we have to do. We want to do it all kind of in one shot. So I have to cut out the pieces that we're going to be making out of silicone to put on the hip belt thing, the back of the hip belt. I need to I need to do the princess seams, get that cut out of foam as well. And then I need to look at the arm sleeves. I think I'm going to end up using heat transfer vinyl on those. Maybe. There are some raised pieces kind of near like the forearm area right here, but most of it is probably just going to be HTV. I'm going to start thinking about what I want to do that's going to be heat transfer vinyl versus what I want to do that's going to be silicone pieces. I think the legs are going to be a combination of both. I haven't figured it out yet, but the good thing about it is that the princess seams here, that detailing, can be cut up. So if I want to put that excuse me. So if I want to put the princess seam detailing, cut it up, and put it on my pants, I can do that, which is cool. I think that's going to be it for today. Tomorrow my Cobra cast comes in so I can finish doing this. I'm also going to be using that thermoplastic on the back of the hip plates things. Got enough this time, so we'll be okay. Yeah, it's slowly becoming, it's moving together. Now that we have all of this done, Alex and I are going to have like a full day of trying to make all of the molds for these and to pour them as well. I ordered from Smooth On a wide variety of goo that, thank you to my Ko-fi supporters, you guys. I ended up flushing out the whole Ko-fi bucket that I raised for this. I didn't realize how expensive mold making stuff is. Well, I do realize it. I had to do it for like all my other projects, but it was still expensive. But I got some on the way. They're coming, but I don't know when they're going to be here because I had to buy them from Smooth On, their website, not other place. And I don't have a distributor that's close, so we're doing what we can. They might get here in this next week. They might not. I don't know. If they don't, I'm going to start patterning the gloves and get those made. So I want to get all the fabric stuff done before, if I have any time sparing between that and making the silicone pieces. Because I think all of it's just going to be like done at once. And then we can move on to like the cape and stuff. So yeah, so thank you for joining me on week 2. I know this is like a lot that I've pushed in this week. Yeah, that's just how it is. There's a lot that we got done and a lot of stuff, cool stuff that we got done. So hopefully this next week will be even better. But thank you for joining me on this week. If you would like to follow and jump in my Discord, there is a link in the description below. We do have a Scarlet Witch making cosplay chat channel where all of us are kind of like sharing tips and tricks and keeping each other motivated on making our own versions of this, which is nice. And then, of course, a bunch of other shenanigans in my Discord. As well as please like and subscribe to my channel. I post every week here my entire process on making my costumes in vlog style. And that's all I have to share with you guys. I'll see you all next week. Bye.